Hi, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. And this is Tristan, who's a Corgi. And this is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi on the deck. And the skeeters are pretty heavy, so I might be doing some swatting. Tristan, want to say hi? He says, I'm so short, Mom. There we go. He's wearing his Judy Ryan aqua bow, so he matches his mummy today. He's also falling off his pillows as usual. The pillows, I have to say, are a bit damp from all the rain we've had. Poor little Tris. But he's not getting wet. Let me see. Let's boost you up a little. You can see some ears. There we go. Can't see as much nature, but you can see the Corgi. So let's try moving our table back a smidge. Maybe that'll work. Oh, very teetery out here. There we go. Come on, Tristan. Oh my gosh, his pillows are de-sandwiching. You are so funny. Come on. Buns up. He just wants to be on ground level. Sorry, honey. Sorry, I know that's your sore shoulder. All right. Finally, the Corgi's in the picture, and so am I. So I wanted to tell you that we have some new additions in my articles that have cited me. I put them on my Facebook page. There's one about how we know that cats love us. There's a dog one coming up sometime later in a couple of weeks. And there's also another new one about traveling with your pets in the summer and ways to help take care of your pets in the summer. And it's so important at this time of year not to ever leave your dog in the car alone for even a second, because in literally 10 minutes your car temperature can rise 30 degrees. That's pretty significant. And the dog's body temperature only has to be changed by 3 degrees to have significant health impacts on your dog's body. So, and certainly impacts on his life. So it's really important not to leave a dog in your car. We've got a heat wave coming up next week for a few days in the Northeast. It's going to be 90. This is not a time to take your dog shopping, or, when you go to pick the kids up from school, in case you have to go talk to the principal for 10 minutes, you cannot leave your dog in the car for that long. So it's really important that you remember this all summer. And if you see a dog that's been left in the car, keep an eye on him. Sometimes the owner will come flying back out in 1 minute, but sometimes they don't. And it's really important. Every year, kids and dogs die because they've been left in cars. And my poor sister, once her child locked a dog in the car for a long time at their house, and she was so concerned when she figured out where he was, and he immediately went and sat in the fish pond drinking and rehydrating himself. Actually a really smart thing that dog did, and he was okay. But boy, it's just a terrible thing when you think of the possibilities. So that article is on my Facebook page. Those will end up on my website eventually when I have Brian back this week. And of course, as always, the Conversations with the Corgis are updated onto YouTube once a week as well. Right, Bess? I'm sorry I hurt your little shoulder. I know. He got to see his girlfriend Coco yesterday. He sees Coco? Finally, her mother has been away, I've been away, and it's been just miserable weather here, so we haven't been doing walking. And she came out to play in the driveway for a little while with him, so that was nice. So today we're going to continue talking about wraps for people. This particular wrap is great for riders, especially riders who feel like their shoulders are forward, or they have trouble, if you've been a hunt seat rider in the old school for a long time, riding around with your butt out behind you, this will help line up your spine and help return you to a normal balanced position for riding. So this wrap is called the Hinge wrap, and it's kind of a cool one. It looks a little complicated, and I'm not always sure that the wraps are going to be long enough for everybody to do this. You might have to get 3 wraps depending on your size and how many coats you're wearing. But You're going to start with 2 wraps stuck together. I used a pin, even though these have a Velcro. We're branching out into some of the other colors so you can see them on this blue shirt. So you start with the wraps stuck together, and then you're going to wrap it around your shoulders and around your trunk as you go. This wrap is really good for people that have tension in their mid and lower back. It would be another great wrap to try for doing yoga, and it would also be a good wrap to do for people that sit at a desk all day, because it does help get you straight again after you've been leaning forward a lot. So you start with the wrap, just throw it over your back. Now again, this one in particular, make sure it's completely below your neck. See, I have it pretty far down. You don't want this anywhere near your neck when you're doing this wrap. And then you bring it under your arms, and you're going to cross it in the back. And I have to say, having them rolled up makes this a little bit easier when you're doing it on yourself. Then you come around to the front, under your chest, cross them again, go back around to the back, and then you're going to connect them there. I think I have Velcro, but I'm going to tie them just to make sure they're secure. I think I may have one twist in it. Wraps are great, but you always have to tweak them to make sure you have them just right. This wrap, I have to say, feels really good. And in fact, I have enough wrap, I think, to, after they cross in the front and come to the back, make it back around to the front. Which feels even better. So you can see already this wrap has traveled up over to my neck. That is not what you want. You've got to get it down below your shoulders, so it's not on your neck. So important. So if you do this wrap while you're sitting on a horse or riding, you've got to really be on top of making sure that wrap doesn't sneak up to your neck, because that can be really bad for you. And I'm pretty slippery back there today, so I'm having a hard time keeping this wrap down. So for me to be, so it won't slide up to my neck, I have to have it pretty far down on my arms. Come here, wrap. What's happened? You've gotten so twisted. I decided to go with a slimmer wrap today, which may not be a good idea when you're wrapping yourself, because they do get a lot more twisted than the fat ones. So it's around my shoulders. It comes around my waist with an X here. There's an X in the back, as you can see, and then it's around my upper back. Now this is one way to do this wrap, and because it does keep sliding up to my neck where I have issues, this is not my preferred way to do this wrap. What I would do is the variation on the Hinge wrap, which is to do it backwards. So you're going to start on your chest and come around, and that way it won't slide up to your neck. And I love this variation for this wrap. So you start across your chest, not on the necklace or the microphone. You come around over top of your arms. Cross it in the back. We're wrapping this. Cross it in the front. And then back around your middle. So for me, this wrap is feeling much better than the other way I had it. And you can also put it on so that it's not under your arms when you come from the back, that it's just going around your arms like I have it here. And of course it got twisted. That raspberry one likes to be twisted. So you can see it's across the front, and then it's crisscrossed in the back, crisscrossed in the front, and then back around the waist. And, you know, if I were sitting on a horse, I might jimmy this waist one around a little to get it to a position where I feel like it's really benefiting my posture the most. So I'll just sit with this one for a while and let you know how it's doing. You can see how I'm wiggling. It's making my spine line up again. Instead of being like this, it's pulling me back like this. But it's not actually pulling me. This wrap is so loose, it couldn't possibly be pulling me back. It's just lining me up. And it's doing that through proprioception because my body is taking the information in from the way the wrap is positioned on me and aligning itself around that information it's getting. Tristan, you're thinking again, honey. And I do feel the release of the tension in my mid-back, in that area, just below the bra for me, which is so tight, especially now from hurting myself carrying a planter. So I find this wrap really great. My favorite wrap for my back is the one where you just tie it around here, a big wide one. But I can feel this releasing under my left shoulder blade, which is an area where I have a lot of tension, also under my right shoulder blade. And it's making me sit up straighter in my waist. Instead of letting myself collapse this way, it's making me want to sit up. And, the great thing about a wrap is that when you do what the wrap is sort of proprioceptively implying that your body should do, you get this little hug. So it's almost like you're getting a little reward, for doing proper posture, which is something we all need. So I can feel this is really helping my mid-back this morning. It feels really comfortable. Hopefully, oh yes, I have more range of motion in my neck. It's really good. So maybe the woodpecker will come back this morning and see us. I don't see him now. It's a little bit quieter here than it was yesterday when it first stopped raining. Next week's going to be 90. I just can't believe it. We might have to turn on the air conditioner again. And it's also the time for Corgi picnics and the Corgi show. So Tristan and I are really looking forward to these upcoming events. There's typically a Corgi picnic up in Ashfield at a lily farm near here. I don't know if that woman is having it this year. Linda Bickford, if you know, let me know, because Tristan and I love that Corgi picnic. We'll just have to take a whole bath in cedar so that we don't get ticks up there. It's typically in June, and then next week, and we'll do a Facebook Live from this event, we have the Mayflower Specialty Corgi Show, and my friend Thyra will be there. She has a wonderful booth selling all kinds of Corgi things, and she missed me last year because I couldn't be there. I was making that movie about horses. So this year I am looking forward to seeing her and doing some Corgi stuff shopping and meeting her new puppy. She got a puppy last year from a breeder there that I know. And that breeder was, in fact, the one that told me about the great book 2 years ago, Pucka's Promise, which is a book about why we give our dogs rabies vaccine every so often and why we feed them kibble. And it really alarms you when you read the reasoning behind these things that have influenced the pet industry for 75, 100 years. I mean, the guy did a ton of research. It's a really interesting book. And in fact, that breeder doesn't give anyone a puppy unless they read the book. I don't know, should give them a test. But my friend Thyra has one of those pups, and who's now 2, because I didn't see him last year. So I can't wait to catch up with the puppy. So next week, I think I'll be going to the Corgi show on Thursday. Sadly, I have to go to my job as an educator on Wednesday, and this is a big bummer for me because Tristan's been working on his herding certification, and we didn't fill out the paperwork right the first time because I am very unfamiliar with dog show things, not like horse things. Of course, it turns out they're all the same. They have pre-entries, they have an opening date, a closing date, blah, blah, blah. So sadly, we didn't get in time to the herding event on Wednesday because Tristan has half of his herding certificate. And it sure would be nice to get official recognition for the second half of that because he is a really good herder and his dad is a professional herder. So we'll have to wait till next year because A, I missed the entries, and B, it's on Wednesday and I can't go on Wednesday. And then they draw the times, so you basically have to be there all day, unlike the horse world where you get assigned a time and it's sent to you in the mail. Tristan, you are just falling off these pillows all the time. So we will be at the Corgi show probably on Thursday. I hope to interview my friend Thyra, and there's some other artists there that I really love. If they're there, I'll talk to them if they'll let me. for anyone there who loves corgis. And this wrap is riding up again too. And there's a skeeter after me. Help! So that's what we'll be doing next week. And then at the end of June, we'll be traveling to my sister's house in New Jersey and attending the Philadelphia Corgi Picnic on Saturday. So we'll do our Facebook Live from that event as well. They have a great costume contest, but typically it's been raining and we've had to squeeze ourselves in under the shelter, which is not the best place to do Corgi costumes. So, and there's been some really cute ones. People do amazing things for Corgi costumes. Like pugs, they are prone to being really cute when you put them in certain kinds of costumes. So this wrap is continuing to feel really comfortable on me, and I almost wonder, I think if I were to do this again, I might put it under my shoulders. Let's just try that. Because it is trying to slide up, which is definitely more manageable from the front. Now, just doing that little shift, it's lifting up my sternum, my chest bone, so that I am in better alignment than I was. And again, these wraps have lots of variations. Do what works for you. Just this crisscross, we had the crossing guard which came this way, but just this crisscross in this area is really wonderful. So for someone who has trouble finding their balance riding, just using the crisscross in the middle of your body might be what you need. So that's the Hinge wrap for people, live from the yard. I have some new clients today, and I'm getting some body work myself, which I am really looking forward to. And tomorrow we'll be back with a couple of more wraps for humans, and we will be back at 9:25 on Saturday and Sunday this week, probably in the yard since it is supposed to be nice. Tristan, you're pushing away that pillow. He does this. He has a sofa with feather-filled pillows on it, and he spends all day pushing on one of those pillows to get a little corgi nest. Don't you? Oh, yes. It's been like 3 days with no ticks, although I did have one crawling up the back of the sofa yesterday, which means it came from me, not him, because he does not like to lay on the sofa when it's warm out. Do you? So this wrap is feeling really good like this. I have to say, this is a good way to put this wrap for me. But do what works for you. So we will unwrap this wrap and see what it's like without it. It's Velcroing itself. It's not Velcroing to the corgi, though. There he goes. He slid right off of his pillows. These are the only dry pillows outside here because it has just been so wet. Here you go. How's that? Now we can see you, but you're still sliding. You just don't want to sit up. You prefer the napping. So this is Sally Morgan and Tristan Corgi for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi out here on my deck, which is lovely but full of skeeters and pretty damp after all the rain we've had. And today we looked at the Hinge wrap for humans and a couple of variations on it that you can use to improve your posture when you're riding, take some tension out of your mid and upper back after a long day at the computer or at work, or looking down at your phone. And it's another wrap you can try, several variations, and I recommend it for riders in particular, but anyone who has trouble with their posture. All right, we will be back tomorrow at around 8:25 for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi, maybe outside like today. Everyone have a great day. Stay out of the ticks and enjoy the sunshine. And we'll see you tomorrow. This is Sally Morgan and Tristan Corgi for Conversations with a Corgi.